안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
한국어 선생님 장현옥이에요.
Gerhard예요. In our previous lessons, we have learned how to introduce ourselves and ask basic questions in Korean. Today, we're going to have a closer look at Korean grammar by looking at the topic marking particle.
That's right, Gerhard. Let's quickly review what we've learned so far. We know how to use the 입니다 form for formal introductions and the 예요 form for polite but less formal situations.
Yes, for example,
저는 페드로입니다.
I am Pedro.
저는 브라질 사람이에요.
I am Brazilian.
엔지니어예요.
I am an engineer.
Today we will focus on a key aspect of Korean grammar that appears in these sentences. Particles, especially the topic particle 은, 는.
는.
저는 브라질 사람이에요.
I am Brazilian.
마이클은 엔지니어예요.
Michael is an engineer.
Notice the endings. 는 and 은 attached to words like 저는, 마이클은.
So attached to nouns.
Nouns.
The noun
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
and Michael. In Korean, particles are attached to words to indicate their grammatical function in a sentence. Unlike German, for example, which uses articles, or English, where word order is important, Korean relies heavily on these particles to indicate what role each part of a sentence plays in the sentence. They mark elements of the sentence, like, for example, the subject, the object, or the topic.
The particles 은 and 는 are known as the topic particles. They mark the topic of the sentence, which is what the sentence is about.
So in the sentence,
저는 브라질 사람이에요.
저는 is I. So I am the topic of the sentence.
Yes, exactly. 저 means I and 는 is the topic particle. So 저는 means as for me or simply I.
So it's the topic and the subject of the sentence.
Yes.
Yes. Marked by the topic marking particle.
Whether you use 은 or 는 depends on whether the noun ends with a consonant or a vowel. 은, 는 is added to a noun without a space. If the noun ends with a consonant, 받침, use 은, like 마이클은. If the noun ends with a vowel, no 받침, use 는. If there is a 받침, 은 is added. If there is no 받침, 는 is added.
Particles in Korean indicate the role of words in a sentence without relying on word order. Korean word order can be flexible, and particles therefore help to clarify meaning. However, as there are no particles in English, they can be challenging for us learners. In our previous examples, the topic particle 는 always marked the subject. But didn't you mention before that there's also a subject marking particle? Why is there a subject marking particle if we mark the topic, the subject with a topic particle now?
The topic particle 는 often replaces the subject particle or even the object particle. That's one of the most tricky aspects of the topic and the subject marking particle. Other particles are rather straightforward, but what can be confusing is that the subject marking particle doesn't always mark the subject. The subject is often marked by 는 instead.
Got it. So it's not always straightforward, right?
Not quite.
Not quite.
Mm-hmm. But for now, we will focus on using 는 specifically for introductions. 는 is commonly used in introductions because it serves to define the topic, whether you're introducing yourself or someone else. We will explore the use of particles like 는 in greater detail throughout this playlist. For instance, In lesson 41, we will discuss the differences between 이가 and 은는 as subject and topic markers.
I'm looking forward to that. And I've heard that sometimes particles are omitted in spoken Korean. Is that true?
Yes, especially in casual speech. However, when sentences become longer or more complex, omitting particles can make them hard to understand. In writing and formal speech, particles should always be included.
So it's important for us to learn how to use them correctly.
Absolutely.
So we will always use them for now and not omit them, not in this playlist.
We have to practice.
Practice. So far, we have used the topic particle 은는 to say our name when introducing ourselves, to say our profession, to say where we are from. Can we look at other examples on how to use the topic particle?
We could, for example, talk about relationships using 은는.
Let's do that.
마이클은 제 친구예요.
Michael is my friend.
제 친구 means my friend.
So 제 is my, is a polite form of my. 친구 is friend.
Friend?
예요, to be.
Yes.
Michael is my friend. And Michael은 은, because Michael has a 받침.
Yes.
Now, how about Gerhard is my boyfriend?
게르하드는 제 남자친구예요. So you can say 게르하드는 제 남자친구예요.
So Gerhard는 my name with 는 because my name doesn't have a 받침. 제 my
남자친구 boyfriend.
So 친구, the word for friend is in boyfriend. What's 남자?
Man. Woman? 여자. So 여자친구 girlfriend.
남자친구 boyfriend, 여자친구 girlfriend. How would you say, for example, Melanie is my student, is your student?
멜라니는 제 학생이에요.
멜라니는 제 학생이에요.
네.
멜라니는 no 받침, so we use 는, 제 my 학생이에요 to be student.
Yes. Let's practice with the cars. But let's learn some vocabulary first. 체코.
Czech Republic.
브라질.
Brazil.
리히텐슈타인.
Liechtenstein.
스웨덴.
Sweden.
네덜란드.
The Netherlands.
포르투갈.
Portugal.
의사.
Doctor.
연구원.
Researcher.
프리랜서.
Freelancer.
레스토랑 매니저.
Restaurant manager.
엔지니어.
Engineer.
웨이터.
Waiter. Let's make sentences with this sentence structure. Noun, 는, noun, 예요. Meaning the noun is the second noun.
Yes.
이름
means name.
First name.
Yeah. First name, 마들렌. 네. And 국적 means nationality. 체코.
Czech Republic.
For example, 마들렌은 체코 사람이에요. 마들렌은 체코 사람이에요.
Madeleine is a person from Czech Republic.
이름, name, 장동건. 직업, profession. 배우. 장동건은 배우예요. 장동건은 배우예요. 장동건 is actor. 줄리아는 스웨덴 사람이에요. 줄리아는 스웨덴 사람이에요. 줄리앙은 브라질 사람이에요. 줄리앙은 브라질 사람이에요. 브라이언은 네덜란드 사람이에요. 브라이언은 네덜란드 사람이에요. 알리나는 포르투갈 사람이에요. 알리나는 포르투갈 사람이에요. 필립은 리히텐슈타인 사람이에요. 필립은 리히텐슈타인 사람이에요. 민수는 은행원이에요. 민수는 은행원이에요. 채서진은 간호사예요. 채서진은 간호사예요. 한지은은 택시기사예요. 한지은은 택시기사예요. 조준범은 식당 직원이에요. 조준범은 식당 직원이에요. 최형모는 미용사예요. 최형모는 미용사예요. 우리 선생님은 여자예요. 우리 선생님은 여자예요. 게르하드는 남자예요. 게르하드는 남자예요. 민수는 제 친구예요. 민수는 제 친구예요. 서유는 제 여자친구예요. 서유는 제 여자친구예요. 서주는 제 남자친구예요. 서주는 제 남자친구예요. 제 친구는 연구원이에요. 제 친구는 연구원이에요. 제 여자친구는 엔지니어예요. 제 여자친구는 엔지니어예요. 제 남자친구는 프리랜서예요. 제 남자친구는 프리랜서예요. 제 남친은 레스토랑 매니저예요. 제 남친은 레스토랑 매니저예요. 남친 means 남자친구, boyfriend. 제 여친은 의사예요. 제 여친은 의사예요. So, 여친 means 여자친구, girlfriend. 제 친구는 연구원이에요. 제 친구는 연구원이에요. 선생님은 한국 사람이에요.
The teacher is Korean. The teacher is a person from Korea.
네.
But in the last lesson, we learned how to ask questions, right?
Yes.
We learned that we can ask a question by raising the tone at the end of a sentence, of a statement. So the sentence is exactly the same, but we raise the tone at the end of the sentence. And when we write, we put a question mark instead of a period.
Yes, like this.
So that's how the sentence becomes a question.
Yes. 선생님은 한국 사람이에요?
Means, is the teacher Korean? Is the teacher a person from Korea? So we are asking about the teacher now.
Yes.
And not saying that the teacher is a person from Korea.
민 씨는 베트남 사람이에요?
네, 베트남 사람이에요.
대학생이에요?
아니요, 엔지니어예요. 수윤 씨,
네.
호세 씨는 스페인 사람이에요?
아니요, 호세 씨는 포르투갈 사람이에요.
포르투갈 사람. 회사원이에요?
네, 회사원이에요.
In the last lesson, we also learned that we don't usually use you in the second person because that's impolite. It's impolite to
Yes.
address someone directly. We learned that instead of using you, we can use the person's name with the appropriate particle or title, right?
Yes.
Does that mean that when using 선생님 in this question, it's either addressing the teacher directly or asking about the teacher?
Yes.
So it's as for the teacher or it's teacher, are you Korean?
Exactly. The meaning depends on the context and whether you're speaking to the person or about them.
All right.
So if you ask me directly,
선생님은 한국 사람이에요?
네, 저는 한국 사람이에요.
선생님,
네,
베드로는 브라질 사람이에요?
네, 페드로는 브라질 사람이에요.
수인 씨는 한국 사람이에요?
네, 한국 사람이에요. 게르하드 씨는 독일 사람이에요?
아니요, 오스트리아 사람이에요. 수인 씨는 대학생이에요?
네, 저는 대학생이에요. 게르하드 씨는 회사원이에요?
아니요, 국가이에요.
It also depends entirely on context because as you already know, we don't change Korean verbs depending on the person. So the sentence is exactly the same. We also don't address our counterpart with personal pronouns like you. So this can be, are you Korean? Teacher, are you Korean? Or is the teacher Korean? Whether it's in the second or the third person depends on whether the speaker is talking to the teacher or not. Tone and situation help clarify the meaning.
Let's practice again. 마들렌은 체코 사람이에요? 네, 마들렌은 체코 사람이에요. 장동건은 배우예요? 네, 장동건은 배우예요. 줄리아는 스위스 사람이에요? 아니요, 줄리아는 스웨덴 사람이에요. 한지은은 택시기사예요? 네, 한지은은 택시기사예요. 조준범 씨는 식당 직원이에요? 네, 저는 식당 직원이에요. 최용무 씨는 엔지니어예요? 아니요, 저는 미용사예요.
In today's lesson, we've learned the concept of particles in Korean grammar. The topic particle 는 is used to mark the topic of a sentence, and it's used during introductions. That's what we did so far with the topic particle. We have learned how to attach in or 는 based on whether the noun ends with a 받침 or a vowel. We've learned the importance of particles in understanding sentence structure and how to express relationships and possessions using possessive pronouns like 제.
Homework. 숙제. 숙제 means homework. 숙제예요. To practice today's lesson, try making sentences about yourself and your friends using 는 and 이에요, 예요.
For example,
가비는 제 친구예요. 가비는 오스트리아 사람이에요. 회사원이에요.
post your own sentences in the comments below and we will correct them. See you next time.
고맙습니다. 안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요. In the next lesson on how to say to not be, we will use the subject marking particle for the first time, but not with the subject.